Welcome back to Dragon Ball Super Anime Review. This is episode number 4. This one I'm viewing quite possibly the shortest saga of the entire series. The Copy-Vegeta Saga. Yep, 5 episodes this one lasted for. Yes, 5. The first 2 are technically aftermath episodes of the previous arc. They're just 2 standalone episodes. The first one is basically the victory party. And, well, it kind of settles the whole thing of Makanaka, the character who was a new character made his debut in the previous arc. Yeah, the whole thing about him being the strongest warrior Beerus had met is a big fat lie. Everybody knows except for Goku. You always like Goku's kept out of the loop because it doesn't give him motivation to train. If he knows, it won't give him motivation to train. If, let's say, if he doesn't know, it gives him motivation to train. Perfectly fine. Yeah, so they kind of said the whole sparring thing. Goku wants to spar with him. Beerus keeps telling him no, and he still wants to spar with him. So Trunks comes up with the interesting idea of having Beerus transform into Makanaka. Look how they made a costume of him. Well, a much bigger version. So he puts on the costume, gets a fight with Goku, and eventually the fight itself, eventually the costume itself is eventually torn. Just the arms, part of the ear. And that kind of settles that. It's an okay episode. The following one was actually, this one also kind of felt like much like an aftermath episode because it follows something with the previous arc of the series because the Kaioken, because him using Kaioken, it really damaged his body. So, yeah, he went all over the place. Like, apparently his body wouldn't listen to him, so he eventually does funny things. Also, I will talk about something. There's a character pops up and it's like, I kind of forgot he was actually in this arc, but I'm not surprised he showed up here. So this one, okay, so Goku's trying to get the King Kai to diagnose what's going on with his chi. So he uses his transmission. The first place he ends up is Vegeta and Bulma's bedroom. I'm not kidding. He ends up in the bedroom completely by accident. Lucky enough he did not see Bulma butt naked. That would have been stupid on his part, especially since he's a happily married man and a father and a grandfather. It'd be kind of inappropriate to see his best friend's, well, because it's a woman, inappropriate to see her butt naked. And he makes a comment about soggy breast. Yeah, he makes a comment about that, which is a follow-up to a comment that was made in the previous arc. Yeah. And then, of course, Vegeta, of course, Bulma screams and like, and Vegeta's like, what's going on? Like, Kakarot, what are you doing here? Yeah, it's just like complete by accident. And he ends up with Krillin, he ends up all over the place. He ends up on top. I kind of forgot about this. Yeah, I thought Yontra didn't show up in the present day, but he kind of did. I kind of forgot about that part. Even, I think his name is Karen. Yeah, the cat who grows senju beans. Yeah, he makes a brief cameo, and then eventually finally ends up at King Kai's place. Eventually he has to, like, figures out because the thing is out of whack because of what happened with Kaioken stuff, so he has to take an easy rest. So he eventually goes home, ends up accidentally destroying his own house. So he has to briefly stay with his son and daughter-in-law. And this episode is so hilarious. Like, it becomes like a comedy episode, like, right after that. Because I kind of thought these were 2 separate episodes. I kind of forgot to spend a little while since I watched this. So, Goku babysits Pan with Piccolo while Videl and Gohan are, well, they end up at their place. And, of course, Gohan and Videl are actually interviewing for a assistant professorship. And, of course, later I figure out at the end of the episode, Gohan turned it down because it would have been too much work for him. He would not see his beautiful daughter. And this is also an episode it's a one-time appearance in this arc of the Pilaf gang. Yeah, Pilaf, I don't remember the dog's name, but yeah, they show up for this one episode, and after this, they do show up for the following arc, and I think they show up for Universal Survival like at the beginning, and that's it. That's all you see of Emperor Pilaf. He shows up roughly just for the following arc a handful of times, and of course he shows up in the last arc of the series. But he does return a little after this, more than just maybe like a few episode appearance. Yeah, I will talk about the ending of this arc. It's epic. Yep. And of course, Pan goes on a little bench with the Pilaf gang. Maya, of course, would never harm Pan at all. Not just because it's not because she's Goku's granddaughter, because as a baby, Maya would never harm a baby. I think this baby is so cute. So she accidentally brings them in their ship, and of course the ship blows up. Pan saves them, and of course this whole adventure is never brought up. And of course Goku, Piccolo, Chi-Chi, and Goten, they know those Pan makes. They search all over the place for her, and they eventually find her. Like, eventually she had crawled. She laid on the. She had found her on the couch with a blanket and pillow, fast asleep, and eventually she first says Dada to Goku's like, I'm not Dada, I'm Grandpa. Eventually she does finally say at the end of the episode, she's like, yeah, eventually learn how to fly at the age of 3. He's like, no, probably 2, but she already flies already. Yeah, there's actually a little point about this in a future episode. But yeah, this episode was so funny. And then we come to the 3-part, which basically the title is the Copy-Vegeta one. I should point out that despite that being the weakest arc of the entire series, it is a lot better than the Cho-Cho arc from Boruto. You want to know why? Because it's a lot more interesting and actual action happens instead of focusing on soap opera stuff for 3 episodes. And also, this is also the last time Makanaka actually physically appears in the series. He's referenced in the final arc, and they say he's busy. But this arc, this 3-parter, is his last appearance in the series. Because who knows if he's going to return for the Broly film or when the series comes back next year. But as far as I know for now, this 3-parter is Makanaka's last appearance in the series. So out of the 5 episodes, he appeared in like every single one but one episode. He missed the one before this one. So he makes delivery, and he acts like a normal delivery man. He delivers stuff for Bulma, and of course, Trunks and Goten just happen to go in this truck, and of course, the truck closes, and he gets, like, because he asked to help Bulma with an experiment. Bulma asks to help with an experiment, and of course, delays him from making his delivery. So he eventually goes to this one planet, which the only reason why he's there is a little martial arts magazine, and of course, they get involved in the action with this super water, which gets copies of everybody, and it's a very dangerous water, and they explain his backstory. It's quite a very dark backstory about this bioweapon. Yeah, eventually causes the extinction of almost an entire race except for like one person. Who's watching over for like 100 years. And apparently the only way to stop this thing, because eventually at one point they have so at one point of course they find out that Trunks to go turn on the planet, so they go off world, and so Bulma calls up Jocko. Yeah, I kind of forgot Jocko actually appeared in this arc because it's been a while, because I know he does reappear for 2 episodes in the aftermath of what happened with Future Trunks. But yeah, this 3-parter is one of 2 more times he appears in the series. I know he's going to appear in the Broly film because I looked up, because they're going to partially adapt his manga for that film, so he's going to make a physical appearance there. But after this one, he appears one more time in the actual anime, and then that's it. Yep. But so it takes him there. He's very nervous, and apparently this water, apparently for some reason, because he doesn't have energy in him, so not like energy, but power like Saiyans do. So apparently this water completely ignores him. It's never explained why. I don't know if it's due to the fact that because he's a cop. It's never explained. Yeah. And, of course, he doesn't bother to ask the question of, why did the water ignore me for, and yet it went after everybody else? Never explained. At all. Eventually, of course, they have one point where Goku does show up and fights the Copy-Vegeta. Of course, Vegeta had been absorbed by this thing and spit out via it's a water version of a mouth, and of course he gets weak and starts disappearing. At one point, this is a common moment in this arc where he puts a pacifier in his mouth. Apparently, he had never heard of a pacifier. Then what the heck did Trunks have in his mouth when he was younger? Did he forget that Trunks had a pacifier when he was younger? Yeah, the whole ending of it basically, which is a little happy moment, and then the ending. The ending I was looking forward to, because after going through all of that, it's like we heard, I guess some people probably heard a rumor about Trunks coming back. So she shows up at the end of this episode. starting off the next arc of the series. It's a setup, it's a prelude for the Future Trunks arc, which, in my opinion, and probably my friend Edgar's opinion, the best saga of the entire series. Even better than Universal Survival. Even that was exciting because it was really long. This particular thing, I gotta admit, the Copy-Vegeta arc was okay. I would say the first 2 episodes probably didn't need to be part of this arc. It probably would have been fine if you had them part of the Universal 6 Saga arc. Because essentially put these 2 are aftermath episodes. Why they were considered part of the Copy-Vegeta arc, I have no idea. I don't have an explanation for that. It's weird. Okay? So, that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned. I'm going to soon do my review of the newest episode of Black Clover. Yes, I'm going to talk about Black Clover. And then I'm going to do 7 Deadly Sins. Later on today with Tokyo Ghoul, and of course, maybe... Now, because the fact that Trunks' arc is about 20 episodes long, I'm kind of going to split this up because the last 9 episodes that kind of said part of this arc has really nothing to do with Future Trunks at all. I'm going to probably have it as a separate episode, probably episode 5, and that those no-name sagas going to consider episode 6. And then 7 would be basically like the rest up until the most recent episode. So, for dub anyways, but to see next review. Bye.